Hey, beautiful souls. We've got a full moon in Scorpio tonight, and you're going to hear a lot of people talking about intensity and emotions coming up and things being revealed. And whether you follow astrology closely or not, I've always found these moments to be useful for one thing. They give us a reason to pause and to actually look at what's happening inside of us. Not to fix it, not to figure it out, just to notice. And I want to share something with you from the last couple weeks. Because we just finished 28 days of morning and evening returns in Soul Growth Circle. And I did it too. Not perfectly. Oh, definitely not perfectly. But consistently enough that I started to notice something shift. And I actually want to tell you what happened while I was getting ready to record this, because it's exactly what I'm about to talk to you about. So I'm reading through my notes and I'm practicing my transmission, looking at it and seeing what words need to change and what's good and what doesn't fit. And in mid-sentence, my phone lit up. And instead of staying focused on what I was doing, I stopped talking and started looking at what was going on my phone. And then I had to laugh because it was like I was completely gone and distracted just like that. I had completely pulled away from what I was doing. And I laughed out loud because I was literally in the middle of preparing a talk. And that's how fast we interrupt ourselves, right? And I interrupted myself. And it's really just automatic. So most of us don't actually avoid what we're feeling. We interrupt it. And when I say interrupting, I don't mean anything complicated. I mean those very normal, automatic little things that we do that we don't even notice. We feel a little wave of pressure or emotion, and almost immediately you start thinking about it instead of feeling it. You notice discomfort, and your attention jumps to your phone, your to-do list, or something else. And if something feels uncertain, you rush to try and figure it out, not get clarity on it, to make a decision. Anything, so you don't have to sit in the not knowing, right? So you feel a little tension in your body and you try to relax it, fix it, breathe it away. Something comes up emotionally and you immediately reframe it, explain it, and tell yourself why it's happening. All of that is interrupting. And it's not wrong and it's not bad. It's just what we do, and it's very quick. It happens so fast most of the time that we don't even notice we're doing it. So here's what I started to notice over these last few weeks when I was doing the return. Just a couple minutes in the morning and a couple minutes at night, where I sat and didn't try to change anything. I wasn't trying to relax. I wasn't trying to solve anything. I wasn't trying to feel better. So it was like, we say your mind, it's hard to sit still because you have a busy mind, so it's hard to sit in stillness. People's mind goes, and that's not wrong, because that's what our minds do. But the best way to counteract that is just come back to, you notice it, and you come back to sitting in stillness. You don't, chase the thoughts, which as soon as you notice that you're chasing the thoughts, you just say, oh, I'm chasing the thoughts. And you come back to sitting in stillness. That's the return. That's it right there. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. There's no shame in having a busy mind. There's no, oh my God, I didn't do it right. None of that matters. What matters is you notice, you come back to the return. Simple. So what I noticed in going through these couple of weeks was that it wasn't that everything in my life got easier. What changed was that I was able to hold it for longer periods of time. So what I noticed was that I was building capacity, right, to hold everything that was going on. And yeah, there's times when I collapsed and I lost it and whatnot, but I noticed and I went back to the return. Simple as that. So, because when you stop interrupting yourself, even for just a few minutes, you start to notice what was already there. Not because it got bigger, but because you didn't cut it off halfway through. So, if something feels more present for you right now, more noticeable, more intense, more in your face, it doesn't necessarily mean that something is wrong. It may just mean that you're seeing things more clearly. That's the pull that the planets have on us. So, whatever it is that you've been trying to move past. And the question is, and how do I fix this? The question is, can I stay with this just a little bit longer than I usually do without interrupting it? So, and you don't have time to think that thought. It just becomes the automatic thing that you go back and do. And each time that you do it, you build that neural pathway and it becomes easier, more simple, faster. That's just the way that it is. So, all right, stay with me here for a moment. Let's just do this. You don't need to do anything complicated. I want you just to sit comfortably, your feet on the ground, let your body settle a little bit. Maybe you place your hand on your chest and one on your belly. There's nothing to change and nothing to fix. Just gently let your eyes close or soften your gaze. Notice your breath without trying to control it. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw soften. And just notice what's here right now. Gently, whenever you're ready, just begin to come back. Maybe wiggle your fingers and your toes, filling the room around you again. And just notice, how do you feel right now without needing it to be different? So whenever you're ready, you may gently open your eyes. And that's it. The door is open.